So starting the housekeeping, we see that we have one area here where we have 4 X's. So that leaves this spot has to be an O. And then we'll put X's in the rest of that row. So now we're going to start looking at what we know. So that we have Leslie then was wearing blue jeans. And Leslie was not wearing boots or flip-flops. And we put that over here. She was not wearing boots or flip-flops. This also said she wasn't wearing gold sneakers, so we add that to this direction here. Okay, and then we know Rena was wearing the silver boots, and she was at the table, and she does not have the yellow coat, so we make sure that that's the silver boots doesn't have the yellow coat. That's because that's Rena. And if we look at we still haven't figured out what kind of pants she's wearing yet. And then let's see who else we have some information on. Here we have the orange coat sitting at the fence. And we have, because we know that the orange coat is sitting at the fence and that the fence has blue jeans, then we know the orange coat must be blue jeans. So we're going to put an O there. And then X's in the rest of that column and row. And so we know that the person on the fence, we just know that they don't have silver boots so far. And we know it can't be Stevie or Rena. But if we go to look at blue jeans here, we already know that it's Leslie. So since blue jeans is orange coat and blue jeans is fence, and also blue jeans is Leslie, we can put O's at here and here. So now we know blue jeans, Leslie's got an orange coat and blue jeans, and she's sitting on the fence. So we're going to take X's and put them in the rest of this column and the rest of this row, and same thing here, rest of this column and rest of this row. And then we look here, oh, there's only one space here, so that must be an O, and we put X's in the rest of that column. And that tells us Miguel was at the cafeteria. And we, in this direction, we know that Miguel was not wearing silver boots. And we know that in this direction too. We know that Miguel was not wearing sweats, blue jeans, or white shorts. So we'll put that in this one. He wasn't wearing sweats, blue jeans, white shorts, we already knew. And we know that Miguel was not wearing an orange coat. Now we already know is Leslie. So Leslie, we know, did not wear boots, gold shoes, or flip-flops. So we're going to put that in this direction. Not boots, not gold shoes, and not flip-flops. Alrighty, and then if we look at Leslie sitting at the fence, then the fence the same. It's not boots, not gold shoes, not flip-flops. And we're doing this just to see if we can eliminate things in different categories. So Leslie, we know, is wearing blue jeans, and so we don't know what kind of pants she's wearing yet. Okay, so let's look at something else. So let's see if we can say any more about Rena. So Rena, we know she was at the table. She was wearing boots, but we don't know. We just know she wasn't wearing tan shorts, jeans, or white shorts. And we have that this way, and we have that this way. We also know that she didn't have a yellow coat or an orange coat, and we have that here. And since we know she was sitting at the table, this also tells us the table person didn't have a gray coat as well. So we're going to put that in for Rena. So Rena was not wearing the daffodil yellow, the gray, or the orange coat. And then because this silver boots is also Rena, we'll say that she wasn't wearing gray there. So we're just eliminating as much as we can. Okay, so that's some good housekeeping. And then they go and talk to Mr. Beasley again. Mr. Beasley says, I remember the boy with the green sneakers running around on the grass. Okay, so that tells us a few good pieces of information. So we're going to go to green sneakers, and we know it's a boy. So we know it's not Leslie. And we know, which tells us then that Leslie must have the black sneakers. So we're going to add that there, and X's in the rest of that column. And the boy with the green sneakers was running on the grass. So then if we go to green sneakers, we know that was on the grass. So we can put an O there. And then we have X's in the rest of that row and X's in the rest of that column, which then allows us to put an O here for black sneakers and X's in the rest of that row. And so he goes on and says, and that kid with the flip-flops, what a nut. I asked him why he couldn't sit calmly on a bench like Stevie. So the fact that he said he asked him why he couldn't sit calmly tells us flip-flops has to be a boy. So we're back to flip-flops, and we know it's a boy. That's all that's left. But the fact that he says, I asked him why he couldn't sit calmly on a bench like Stevie tells us that Stevie's not the flip-flop wearer. So that has to be Miguel. And we're going to put X's in the rest of that row. And so Miguel is the kid with the flip-flops. And he's not on the bench. But we already knew Miguel was in the cafeteria. But it tells us Stevie's on the bench. So we're going to put an O there. And X's in the rest of that row. Which then allows us to put an O here. And X's in the rest of this row. And then we can do some more housekeeping now.